Welcome back to another exclusive edition of More to Live For. Shout out to my subscribers, man. I appreciate all the support. I really do. Get right back into it, man. I got part two of the Rashad White story, man. I'm gonna give that to y'all, man. Just like he gave it to me. Pause. But yeah, I'm gonna dig right into it, man. A few things he wanted me to touch on that I didn't get a chance to necessarily touch on in the first video. So to give y'all a better understanding of his situation, that's what he want me to do. So let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. Peace and blessings to all. Peace and blessings to all. Let everybody get settled, get situated. Right back into it, man. Part two. Part two. Rashad White's story and his journey. The journey that he's on. So, some things that he wanted me to be real clear on and real specific with. Is the whole ordeal of his his co-defendants turned the state on him. He had two or three, but it was one main one that neither one of them ain't no good, but I guess one told more than the other. But it was one main one that used to be from around the way or whatever. So he kind of wanted me to touch in more on that. So, like I said yesterday, with the last video, they were in different counties when he found out all this, but on the paperwork that he got, it said that, dude, basically told police that everything was his fault. That it was his idea. He just was in a bad situation, trying to get right. All this bullshit, basically. But that's how that happened. That's how that happened. But also, something that I kind of didn't touch on yesterday. Not only did he had co-defendants turn the state on him, but anybody else that was getting into any type of little ordeal, any type of crime was basically like throwing his name up, bringing his name up. Once they get down there and get questioned about whatever they got going on, hoping to get get out of jail free card or something of that nature. But that happened a lot. Said some big names on his paperwork. He bringing that on with him. So yeah, he kind of wanted me to get the full details on that, and around the home front, people didn't necessarily want to believe that dude was telling, but he had already been gone for some years. He had done been home or whatever. So it was hard for them to connect the dots, but once he backdoored them, basically, they kind of realized that bro won't lie and shit. I mean, he ain't been home to show him the paperwork, but I mean, everybody know he ain't no good. He ain't from around the way no more. So that's just how that goes. So as far as that, it was several. Like I said, it was several people that jumped on this case or whatever. Looking for them to get out of jail free card. So he dealing with that as well as two co-defendants turn the state. One of them, damn, they want to work for the state with everything he doing. Like I said, X, Y, Z, with everything he doing. So that's how that went. As far as me being clear on the type of betrayal was going on in his ordeal. So he definitely wanted me to take time for me to be clear on that. Another thing that we often talk about, he definitely just like anybody else, man. You deserve to see your mother get old. Your mother deserves to see you get old. So shout out to his mom. You know what I mean. I'm definitely here if you need somebody to talk to, because I talk to him a lot myself. So he definitely deserved that. As well as shout out to his sisters. You know what I mean. His sister's grown now, so he definitely missed a lot. So he wanted me to tap in on all of that. Also, like I was telling you, it was a point. It was a point in time that he was, that he when he went to Maury. You know what I mean? Like I was telling you guys yesterday when he was at Maury, like things that he was going through there. It was more so From his words, his words, not mine, was more so. He was soul searching. He was going through mental things as well. During that time, he was, able to, put together some dope poetry around that time. So, but yeah, during this time, he found out a lot about himself. And his own words is, he realized that, a part of him was feeling suicidal, but now all of them is feeling homicidal. So that's just kind of where he went at, and it kind of bring me to what else he wanted me to kind of dig in on is, what I mean, like a little in depth with, his stay on Moore. You know what I mean? Like I said, he stayed down. He was on Moore for 5 years, so he stayed down there for 5 years, and a lot of shit going down there. I done heard a lot from a lot of different people. You know what I mean? So like, it's a lot. It's some crazy shit to go on down there. But for starters, his whole situation, what I mean, I think that was really the first time. I can't really recall the only time, but I definitely think that was the first time he ever, what I mean, pushed that steel. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it was the last time, but I remember around that time everything that was around that. From my understanding, gang politics, shit like that. Nothing real too, nothing specific I can name, that was about, but it's prison, so it could be about small things. But he did tell me it was gang politics, and he ended up, having to put that work in, and behind that, he was gone for like a year and a half in the hole. So, but he did come back. From my understanding, he did come back to the same yard. So, um, it wasn't like he, got moved somewhere else for doing this. Like he basically came out to the same yard. So like he stayed, he did his whole term, like I said, with 10, 11 months. But after that he was right back out to the same yard. So and he was still, active, active game bank, while he was at Moore, like, all in, and just, some of the crazy things that were going on there that he was telling me about, and things that I was seeing on the news my damn self, and he was telling me about them after I see him or before I see him. But you know, real penitentiary type shit. You know what I mean? Like guards getting, caught smuggling drugs and shit. Guards getting caught having sex with inmates. Real life penitentiary type shit going down there more. So he was somewhere in the midst of it. You know what I mean? Like being the type of time that he was on. Like I said, he was already pushing that knife around there. You know what I mean? Smoking weed when he want to. Things like that. So that's what he was at then. And he's all. He was also telling me about like how he was seeing, a whole lot of people like on K2 real bad and shit, like wigging out on there, like being total zombies, like or some synthetic marijuana, like got them laid out, falling out, busting their head, stuff like that, and get up and want some more. But what you do with it, type of vibe. So he said, he was seeing, what I mean, like I said, like he was already seeing some real penitentiary type shit from the last two, but more, I guess, like I said, once he got there, it was like it was his time. It was his turn to participate, and you know, doing all this time, and as long as he been game banging, like he ain't never, and he told me this out of his own mouth, like he ain't never been on the receiving end of a DP, whether it was physical or some type of workout or anything like that. Like no disciplinary action towards him as far as like with the collective that he run with. So definitely a stand up dude, man. But about time my homie get on the outside, man, for real. So, but that was just a little bit of what goes on and more. The type of time that he was on and more. That also, he definitely told me about some riots and I mean, like the aftermath of the riots, how crazy shit be. So, you know, that's something. Like I said, sooner or later he gonna be out here to tell the story himself. But he just wanted me to, to kind of give my viewers, a snippet of his life and what he got going on since he been down there 15 years. So, but that ain't it. That ain't it when it come to more. Like I said, like he was already pushing that steel. So he was already like getting into it with other inmates, officers. things like that. And like I said, he had a run in with him behind, you know, I think after a shoe turn, after disciplinary turn that he did, like he got caught with a knife, shit like that, didn't go to the hole. But somewhere in the midst of that, they already gonna treat you like shit anyway. So he got into a little physical altercation with him. But once they got him handcuffed and all that, they beat his ass then. So they kind of left him, with a distaste for him, as he should, because they job, to be there is to oppress him, like that's their job. So like they kind of left him in a bad place or whatever. So like, then he hit me with some more poems around then too, So like that's the type of stuff that he got going on. And then, the last prison that he was at before he got to Marion, like he got kicked off there for basically like, group of COs about to beat up a inmate or whatever. Like he had some shit going on, blah, blah, blah. He finally surrendered, but they still about to beat his ass, whatever, and he stopped. But the fact that he's standing up, somebody else standing up, and now they getting him for inciting a riot. So that's how that went. And that's that's what got him sent away. Like up there in the mountains. Like that's where he at now or whatever. But y'all know that now. But yeah, go ahead and run them lights up, man. Run them lights up, man. We gotta get these views up on this one, man. Shout out to the homie, man. We gotta get them lights up on this one. But that led him to the mountains. Like I said, they got him for inciting a riot. So they sent him straight to the mountains, straight on the other side of the state. So that was crazy in a nutshell. But the last thing that he wanted me to make sure I get to people about Maury and the type of time they on. Like I said, it's closed custody North Carolina prison. Half of it, well, a portion of it is designated for mental health and things like that. But some well-known names that's been there. But he told me that he sees some real life penitentiary type shit there. Like as far as like the homosexuality that's in North Carolina prison, that shit does exist. Seeing grown mans with other grown man neck, tattoos, they name on the neck and shit like that. Like it's crazy, man. Like he was telling me about this one time, like he was, on the yard with somebody, politicking. Like, and then, weeks later, he don't see him no more. Like, well, actually, he called a charge or whatever, and I had to go to the hole for a little bit. But shit, he come out of the hole and nigga look like he went to Dr. Miami type shit. Like that's the type of shit they even tell me or whatever. So like that shit really goes down there. Like he definitely said that he seen a lot of it there. Like at Maury. So he kind of wanted me to make sure I be detailed with that, man. Like, cause the youth need to know that this shit ain't a game. Like if they do certain things, man, they know their like type of life that it's gonna be. And I often hear people talk about Maury like it was sweet, but I know too many people that went through that and say it's the exact opposite. But like I said, that's the type of shit that he was doing when he was at Maury or whatever. As far as the knife play, as far as being in riots and shit like that, smoking weed and shit, seeing people, damn near OD on K2 and shit like that. That's the type of shit that he was seeing while he was there. So shout out to the homie, man. For real, man. I'm gonna keep raising awareness, but I definitely keep y'all posted with what he got going on. But yeah, he just tapped in and he wanted me to let to be real detailed with the type of portrayal that went on. And the type of shit that he seen in these 15 years that he been down. So shout out to the homie, man. This shit almost over with, dog, for real. So yeah, peace and blessing to all. Thanks for watching, man. Hope y'all enjoy this, man. Story of Rashad White, man, my homeboy, man. 15 down. Hopefully no more to go. And that's real. So gonna sign out just like that, man. It's been another edition of More to Live for, the voice of the North, man. Why settle for less? I am more. Respect the vision.